Hello and welcome back to Christine's Mom Picks. I am Christine. Today I want to walk you through how I decorated my son's nursery. I want to go over everything that I use all the time and that I'm so happy I invested some money in, but I also want to go over things that I didn't exactly need. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping with my theme. I have kind of gone through the theme of when I was decorating this nursery, I really wanted it to be a minimalist, kind of neutral, very calming space, just because I know when I'm not having any sleep, having a calm, soothing surrounding is what makes me feel best. So I just kind of want to walk you through everything that I did for Weston's nursery. All right, let's get started. So starting off, you can see that I went for a very neutral theme. I did a little lime wash walls that has kind of a more beige tint to it. And I did a lot of natural woods into the nursery. My whole goal was wanting it to be as calm and as peaceful as possible. So that is why I went with the natural wash, the Hudson Baby Little Crib. And what I love about the crib is that it is convertible. So I am able to take this crib, and he's using it right now is a 5-month-old, but I can use it all the way up until his toddler years because the front of it does come down and you can replace it with a different piece of wood that allows the toddler to just get in and out of bed on their own. So that's what's really great, that it makes it convertible. With that, there just means a lot of longevity. And I am definitely looking for pieces that I can have for a long time, just because it is expensive having a baby. Especially your first one, when you have absolutely nothing, it is just like you need to buy absolutely everything. So having things that have some longevity to it are just so great and very necessary if that is something that is within your budget as well. I also went with my prints that I got above his crib, and those are from Etsy. So I was able to customize it with his name, and I got the frames from Amazon. And what I like about this is that I can swap everything in and out. And same with the Etsy prints were super affordable, and I was able to just print them at the local FedEx. So I know, like, when he does get older and changes rooms, and maybe we change the theme of his room, I can kind of update those, just because the frames are just so neutral, and updating prints like that is just a very cost-effective way. We did get our mattress from Newton, and I love the Newton mattress, like love, love, love. And what I love about it is it's breathable, meaning the material that they use, if you ever just stick your nose directly onto the mattress, you can breathe right through it. That makes me feel so much more confident as a mom when I put Weston down to sleep, that I know that he is going to be able to breathe in the event that he flips on over to his stomach. And I don't know if you're like me and you have a ton of anxiety about like SIDS or just anything as a first time parent. You don't know. I mean, even second time parent, there's just like a lot of things that, I mean, you're doing your absolute best to keep this baby alive. So you are just like, anything that can help in the aid of their safety. That's why I chose this mattress, because he can go to sleep. That is just something I just don't even have to worry about. And that gives me so much peace of mind. So definitely invest in the Newton. I know they have a lot of sales. I got mine, I think, during like a Memorial Day or Labor Day, one of those sales. So definitely look out for that, because they have them pretty frequently on those big holiday shopping days. The next thing I want to show you is our camera. We got our camera from Amazon, and it's called Infant Optics. And what I really like about it is it doesn't have to connect to Wi-Fi. I feel like a lot of them, that when I was kind of shopping around, did connect to Wi-Fi, and I just wanted something that wasn't that, I don't know, our Wi-Fi goes out all the time, so I needed something more reliable. And I really like it because it also has like a night mode, which is when I do the majority of my watching of the monitor, is the evening when I'm on like either first shift or second shift. I am just kind of always watching that monitor, almost like I'm watching TV. I'm crazy, but it's just really nice to like see your little baby, and it's just so cute, because I don't know if you're like me, like you can't wait to put them down for bed, because it's like, oh, you can finally have an hour or two to yourself, but then you spend all your time looking at the monitor and just being like, man, I miss you. I can't wait to wake you up in the morning, or for you to wake up in the morning. So I love this baby monitor. I would absolutely get it again, and we probably will once we have more children. To the next part of the room is we have acrylic bookshelves, and I really like them because they're sturdy. They hold a lot of books, and you're able to see the books. And I definitely like changing them and rotating the books that I keep on display, just because those are the ones that we're usually grabbing when it's time to do our wind down and we want to read Weston a bedtime story. I like to have the variety kind of displayed in front of there. But then when holidays come up, I want to throw in some like Halloween books or Thanksgiving books, or just whatever holiday is kind of in that season. So having the acrylic bookshelves is definitely really nice, but I definitely recommend keeping it next to wherever you do your nighttime routine. And that is where we do ours, is in that recliner. So that way we're just sitting there, we can just easily just go behind us and pull up a book. But let's talk about the recliner. That is, other than the changing table, that is the most used item in, well, in the crib, but the most used item in this nursery, because we, especially when he was young, like as a baby before the sleep training all started, we would rock him to sleep there. We still feed him there. We basically would just let him do naps, contact naps on us there. So we spend hours, like literally hours in that chair. So definitely getting something that's super comfortable. We got ours off Wayfair, so it's like only like $500, and it definitely feels like higher quality than that. Which, so we're really happy about that. I will say we don't use the reclining feature as much. It's more of just like the gliding motion that we like, just because it is like kind of like rocking motion, where the recliner, once you recline, you can't really rock. And our baby loves movement. So for us, we don't really use the reclining one that much. So if you are kind of like finding one that doesn't recline and just glides, honestly, I think you're totally fine. I personally, if I were to buy another one, I would not look for one with, I mean, if it came with a reclining feature, great, but it's not something that I'd seek out. I do like our little side table next to us. I always keep a couple books there just in the event I am nap trapped and I can't reach and get a book behind me. That way I can still do his bedtime routine and have a book with me, or just like any kind of entertainment. But I also like to keep my book. I like to keep my Kindle there, just because if I am nap trapped, I don't know how long it's going to be. Sometimes it's like 1 hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And I don't like to be on my phone too much, just because of the light that it emits. So having my Kindle, plus it's just, you get bored scrolling. So having your Kindle is really nice to keep close to you. I also really like having our hatch there. This is our sound machine slash, it has a nightlight to it, but we don't really use the nightlight anymore. We just kind of just only put on the sound. We like a nice rain noise to play throughout the night while he sleeps. But it also is really cool because it tells the time. So there's a lot of times where I won't have my phone or my watch, and I might have a meeting coming up, or I might have just something that I'm trying to like time. So having a clock right next to you just kind of helps you kind of gauge, like, okay, how long has he been napping for? Can I get up? Do I need to wait a little bit longer? So having a clock just somewhere in the room where you can see it is really good. Another thing I like to keep on that table is our vitamin D. Our vitamin D is something that our doctor told us to give him daily. So we like to keep it next to where we feed, which is in that chair. We feed the majority of the day in the chair. So having it right next to us is always like good, like, oh, great. Okay. A reminder. I need to do it, because if it's out of sight, at least for me, it's out of mind. So love keeping that there. But other than that, we kind of like keep the table kind of more clear, because usually we'll bring in a water bottle, or we will have our cell phone or something. So having some extra room is really nice. We also, as you can see, have a air conditioning unit. Our house does not have central AC, so we'd face the sun. So this room gets boiling hot, like boiling hot. And again, like I mentioned, the SIDS thing, overheating is a big scary thing for babies. So I like to make sure that this room is at controlled temperature all times. So having the AC unit was something that we found really important, and we get a ton of use out of, because this summer has been hot. And when it's hot, I want to make sure that his room is cool, our room is cool, so at least we can all sleep through the night as much as we can. I mean, now that the sleep training's here, it's a lot better, but you know. So air conditioning is really great. I also recommend blackout curtains. Blackout curtains are so needed, because especially like if your house is facing the sun and you have a really bright room, having the room as dark as possible really helps with naps, bedtime sleeping, just anything like a wind down period, especially in the summer when he has a 7 p.m. bedtime and the sun's out to like 9, 10 p.m. So the room is super bright. So I like to have the blackout curtains. And we got ours all off Amazon. We like them pretty much. What we really like are the little magnets that we use. These are the magnets. It allows you to magnet the curtain to the window to really secure it and really block out all the light. They're okay. I think it's a little tricky with the AC unit going through the window because it's like hard to like fully cover it, but they work decently well. I mean, they get the job done, and we haven't had any issues with Weston sleeping since we added them. So I think that's a win. Yeah, so that's this corner of the room. Looking over here, we do have if you can see on the ground, it's a cushion, and the cushion is something we got because our nursery only has one chair, and there's a lot of times where like my husband will be feeding Weston or I'll be feeding him, and the other person's in the room and we want to hang out. I mean, because we're spending so much time in here, we want to hang out with each other. So one of us will just pull up this pad and just sit on the ground so that we're able to like hang out, chat, and just kind of keep each other company while we're spending hours and hours in this room every single day. But then as you can see next to it, we've got the blanket ladder, and this is something I bought not knowing how much I'd actually need it. I knew I had a lot of blankets. So I'm like, okay, what's a way I can keep this organized? And let me tell you, I am so happy about the blanket ladder. I use it all the time, and I use every single blanket. And I think why I like this is because you can see all your different blankets. I initially had them in a bin and that I keep in the closet. And that's kind of where I take all of his stuff off his crib at night and I put everything into the bin. But I was keeping all of our blankets in there for a bit, and I found that I was only using the ones off the top. And I wanted to make sure I was using all of them, because every blanket has a different purpose. So you've got one that you're going to put on the crib, one that you want to put on your body while you're feeding him. There's a variety of reasons why you would need several different blankets. So that is why I like the blanket ladder, to make sure that I am making sure that I'm using all of them. And then as you can see, we've got our dresser. Something to look for if you're not going to buy a dresser that is meant to be a changing table, is you want to make sure it has a big enough width. I felt that when I was looking at dressers, they were about like 15 inches, and I wanted something wider because I wanted to make sure that our changing pad that we have on here would fit perfectly and fit comfortably. So I actually found this dresser at IKEA because it was at 19, I think it was around 19-inch width, which has been a perfect size. I would definitely recommend it because the changing pad is on the like wider side, and I don't know how comfortably it'd fit on the 15-inch. And I think the more room with this kind of thing, when there's a baby on a countertop, you kind of want to make sure there's a lot of room. So that's something to keep in mind when you are looking for your dresser. But this changing pad is chef's kiss. It is so comfortable. It's like squishy. It's easy to clean up. You can get liners if you do feel like it's going to be too cold. We haven't been doing the liners just because of like the timing of his birth, and we're heading into summer. So you can get the liners, and I think you can get ones that are disposable as well in case they get messy, which is very likely. But just if you don't use it, you can just wipe everything down when you need to. But I really, really, really like our wipe dispenser. We did not go for a heated one. We kind of wanted to like let Weston get used to having cold wipes. That way, in the event, which like I think I mentioned in another video, we like to go and do a lot of things. So in the event we're out and he doesn't have a wipe that's been warmed, he won't be fussy about it. So that's why we just kind of always use colder wipes, or just like once right out of the package. And it's been great. He's honestly hasn't been fussy about it at all, which we're very grateful. But what we like about this dispenser is it's weighted. So when you pull out a wipe, it doesn't pull like 15 at once. It gives you like 1 or 2 at a time. And that's really nice, because I felt when beforehand we just only had the wipe and I kept shaking it off because we only have one hand available. So I was just shaking it off, trying to like get access to it. So having a weighted wipe dispenser, love, 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 love. And then next to us, we have the diaper caddy. The diaper caddy is really nice to have because you can put your diapers in there, but you can also keep like your lotions. So after his bath, we've got his lotions on top. You can also just keep whatever you want in there. If you want to keep socks or hairbrushes, we keep our combs in there as well. And this is a caddy, if it looks familiar. We had it in our car video. I just love the caddy. I think it's so cute. I love the leather strap. I think in the canvas material, it's just so chic and so just really cute. And it kind of goes with my natural theme with the lime wash walls and some browns and some tans. So I thought it was like perfect for this room. And then I want to also talk about the thing you cannot live without is a, drum roll please, a diaper pail. A diaper pail is so, so, so needed. I mean, you can't obviously just throw it in the trash, but the smell that the babies create is so stinky. So we love the diaper pail because you can just place the diaper in, close the lid, and it just completely blocks the odor. So that way, when it is a hot day and this room is in the heat and we haven't turned on the AC yet, we don't feel like this room is really hot and stinky. It's something we can completely trust in keeping the room smelling just normal. So definitely get a diaper pail. And a tip someone told us, if it's in the budget, I would recommend getting 2 diaper pails. We keep a diaper pail in the nursery because that's like where we do the majority of his changings, but we also keep a diaper pail downstairs in our makeshift playroom. That way, because we spend a lot of time down there as well, and it's kind of like a hassle to go up 3 flights of stairs to get to the bedroom. So that way we can just change it down there. Makes the job so much easier. So if it's within the budget, definitely recommend getting one of those or getting a second diaper pail. Well, this is Weston's Nursery. Thank you so much for following along to see how we styled it and how we kept it very simple with just the basic needs. I will link again everything that we used and things that we've really, really loved, especially the recliner. Let me tell you, if I had to do one pick, having a recliner is such a must. I remember before when I was decorating the nursery, I really wanted a recliner, and then someone was like, "Oh, you're not going to need one of those. It's just for aesthetic." And I was like, "Oh, we'll see. I'll still try it out." Okay, they were so wrong. They were so wrong. I don't remember who told me, but it was the most used item. We use it all the time. When you rock them to sleep, you get to spend time, get your cuddles. Definitely get a recliner. All right, well, hit the subscription and get the notifications because I will be posting every Sunday. I look forward to talking to you next week about all the necessities of what we put in our bedroom when we first took Weston home, because before Weston went into his nursery, we spent about 4 months in our room where the bassinet was and all the other goodies that are really needed when you first bring your baby home. All right, bye.